flag. DJ Curtis on the inside, on the pole. Outside of him, Jonathan Skavnicki, as we begin round 17 here at Richmond International Raceway in Virginia. Curtis into the lead off turn 2 as William Duncan, who started 3rd place, moves up to 2nd. DJ Curtis around to lead the first lap. Richmond International Raceway, a short track, our last short track race of the season. As John Skavnicki, who started 2nd, starts to fall all the way to the back of the line. As the inside line is the most dominant line on the track, so a lot of teams looking to try and get to the bottom as quick as possible. Battle for 5th place, Jesse Turner disposes of Seth Cole to move into 5th place, and now Trey Fibrosis is in the 9, looking to try and follow through as Turner slides off the corner a little bit. Fibrosis gets a big run, but it's not able to capitalize. Gene Sanford, Vincent Allen also on the bottom as well. Here comes Fibrosis, peeking to the inside for 5th place. Good run so far for Jason Tross in the 36. Tross running for the Pates Trophy Championship and the Division II Championship. Currently running in 10th place. Short tracks are typically a place where a lot of smaller teams and a lot of typically slower teams usually perform a little bit better because the short tracks rely less on engines and more on the chassis. And you can see here is Charles Sanford going for 3 wide as he forces DeMax 3 wide. He wants to go for a big pass here. Sanford wants to go underneath both Trost and DeMax, and he pulls it off as Trost now starts to slide up a little bit. Most of the top 10 has gone single file, but the back of the field, however, are still running 2 wide and 3 wide on both ends of the racetrack. We look at James Shelley in the 43. Trying to slowly, methodically work his way through the field. Cody Lamas as well, who's coming off a big win at Watkins Glen. A lot of poor qualifying efforts from some teams, and some cars started on the outside line and fell all the way to the back, like Lamas, and they are slowly reworking their way through the field. Jesse Turner had a pretty good start to the race. He made his way to the top 5 at one point, but it's now slowly starting to drop back. He got kind of trapped on the outside line, but regardless, Turner's typically quicker on these ovals. But right now, like Trost, he's getting shuffled back. Jesse Turner has had a pretty quiet year so far in this 2016 season. Still in the championship hunt, but the 82 team has not had as much success as I think they would have liked this year, but still a couple of rounds to make a shot at this championship, but not a lot of time regardless. Ian Dutta's in a bit of trouble right now in the 55 car. He is heavily off the pace. Ian Dutta was hanging in around 8th place about 3 laps ago, but is now starting to fall outside the top 20. We're being told that the 55 has lost a cylinder. So while this car is supposedly holding it together in the turns, you can see it is disastrous on the straightaways. It looks like it's about 15 miles per hour slower on the straightaways, and what a disaster for Ian Dutta. This is going to be a long race for him if he can even keep this race going. He might be so slow they're going to have to ask him to pull off the track in case of a minimum speed penalty, but Michael Cavanera in a bit of a pickle. He is currently running just inside the top 30. Cavanera had a pretty solid qualifying effort and was 5th place momentarily at the start before getting shuffled all the way to the back on the outside line, but unlike Lamas and a couple of others, he has struggled to rebound. Cavanera has over a full round lead on DJ Curtis, who sits 2nd in the championship. Cavanera at this point just needs to run consistently, and so far not a good start to the weekend for our points leader. Since the start of this race, William Duncan has kept a close eye on the 19 of DJ Curtis. This is the top 2. DJ Curtis has led every lap of this race so far, but William Duncan has kept his pace with them and is actually starting to now close in. Wouldn't surprise me if Duncan might have been conserving some tires to try and make a run at DJ. But Curtis still remains as the leader. And it's going to be quite interesting to see how Duncan will oppose him in these next couple of laps, or how these two will fare on pit stops if we do reach that point. They are going to have to pit under green if a caution does not come out. Here's the battle for third place as Vincent Allen gets side by side with the 59 of Zachary Fitzwater. And Vincent Allen looks like he is going to easily clear by the 59. Fitzwater, who finished second place, his best finish of the season so far at Watkins Glen, looking to try and match that as he falls to fourth. DJ Curtis now approaching lap traffic as here comes the 97 of William Duncan, make a big charge to the 19. William Duncan now finding some room, gets to the inside of the 19, and William Duncan's going to force his way into the lead. Very nice pass from Duncan. Curtis was having trouble getting past the 22 of Matthew Fuller, and Duncan capitalized on it, and now Duncan takes the lead for the first time today as Curtis falls to second. We are coming up on green flag pit stops, the one stop needed today. You can see Duncan just slowly, methodically working his way through the lap traffic. Much more clear than Curtis was doing as Curtis comes down pit road. Vincent Allen will relinquish the lead to come down pit road, as will several other cars will. And it's going to be very interesting to see where Duncan and Curtis exit. William Duncan exits pit road in front of the 19. You can see DJ Curtis back there. William Duncan's 97 team just put up a heck of a pit stop. And that has now put Duncan way ahead of the 19 of DJ Curtis. Green flag pit stops are finishing up, but you can see Duncan's got a mega gap on the 19. That was a good pit stop by the Subarus. Battle for second place. Vincent Allen catches the 19 of DJ Curtis. And Vincent Allen, he will easily work his way past the 19 as Vincent Allen climbs to second place. Trevor Brosis currently in fourth place, looking for third. You can see a long line of cars all battling inside the top 10. The top 10 and the top 5, actually. Problems for Jesse Turner, apparently, as Turner is now bringing his car to the garage. And Jesse Turner, he's going to be done for the day, and he's going to be the first car to retire. Coming up on the final stages of this race, and so far, this has been a surprisingly clean race here at Richmond National Raceway. Typically, the short tracks offer a lot of carnage, but we haven't seen a single caution yet. As Duncan continues to put people a lap down, he has now reached the top 25. So this 97 car, this is easily the best William Duncan has looked all season long, and probably in several seasons. William Duncan won last season at Mexico when he held off Alan Cavalier on the final couple of laps, but we have never seen Duncan really lead this amount of laps and dominate this well in a long, long time. A driver who's had a pretty solid day so far has got to be Seth Cole in this 12 car, currently the highest Dodge Dart in the field in 8th place. We haven't seen a lot of top 10 runs out of this 12 team, but they've had a pretty quiet day, but so far quiet's been good for them. 8th place has been the best run they've had this season in quite a while. I believe their best finish was a top 5 at Australia, which was quite a couple of rounds ago, so Seth Cole taking whatever he can get. Problems for JF Finguy. He is blown up in the 42 car, but he was unable to get to pit road in time, and he is going to park his car a little bit off the track, but to the inside. And tough break for JF Finguy. He had already gone a lap down, but his day is done. Jordan Smith in trouble. He is blown up in the number 80. Jordan Smith, who started last place, he is right in the middle of the racing line, but he is trying to keep his car to the right. Joshua Michaels trying to avoid, gets into the back of him. And the yellow is being thrown out. Ian Dutta slow, and Tamir Delise, Cody Lamas, several cars coming in. They are all plowing into the 80. Yellow is out, and a big wreck in the back of the field. Oh boy, oh no, caution's out, but Jean Sanford looks like she was about to fake pit road and just clobbered the 55 and sent them both hard into the barrels. A good chunk of the field had got slowed up from a couple of cars being around in the back, but what on earth? On board with Jean Sanford now. We're gonna look at the roof on board of this, and we're gonna see what Sanford does here. Oh my goodness. Gene Sanford just drove up to the 55 and then just dumped him into the water barrels and just flat out wrecked him and herself, and now both cars are out of the race. Now a lot of drivers have been voicing displeasure with Ian Dutta, who had not gone off the track despite being off the pace, but look at Sanford, man, that is just driving dead right into Dutta, wrecking him out. I'm not sure if perhaps Dutta got in Sanford's way, and this was Sanford's way of making a rebuttal, but I can't imagine the stewards are going to be very tolerant of that one. We got more trouble as they're racing back to the caution flag. Vincent Allen, he blows up and runs into the tire barrel, just like Ian Dutta and Gene Sanford. And Vincent Allen, who was in second place, has wrecked out the first of 2 rounds here in Richmond, and that is a shocking end to Vincent Allen's race. He had such a good run going, and the 0 car just blew up, and that's going to be a bit too much damage to really fix. Coming back to the green flag, William Duncan's got 9 lapped cars, separating himself and DJ Curtis as we have 4 laps to go. William Duncan is in the catbird seat right here. And Duncan's just got to hang on for just under 4 laps, as there's really no way Curtis is going to be able to pass 9 lap cars well, coming up on 3 laps to go. Coming to the white flag, William Duncan is your leader in the 97 car. And what has been probably his most dominating performance in quite some time, William Duncan and the Subaru Racing Team, who has not won a race yet this season, one of the few teams to not have 1 win, is going to come off turn number 4. William Duncan's going to score his first win of 2016 here at the Richmond International Raceway. And we have yet another winner in 2016 in what has been one of the most competitive seasons we've ever seen, as Duncan adds to the long list of names who has won this season. And Duncan will get at least 1 win for 2016, matching his record from last season. We had a wreck on the last lap as Sean Angel, who came off pit road, merges into the 9 of Dylan Young, and that's a top 5 car in the wall. And Charlie Fabro says, oh, we got a huge pile up, and Dylan Young's up on his roof. Several cars come slamming in, and Charlie Fabro, who was running in the top 5, he is going to not even get finished in the top 10, I think. I don't know what Sean Angel was trying to pull at that merge. That was a very gutsy merge. And that basically just caused 2 cars to wreck. In what was a pretty clean start and turned into a messy end, William Duncan is your winner here in Richmond. He wins the first of 2 races this weekend. Eugene Max scores a 2nd place. DJ Curtis 3rd. Joshua Collard, who is outside the top 20 at the halfway point, still manages to get 4th place somehow. Zachary Fitzwater 5th. Josh Travel 6th. Michael Block 7th. Charles Sanford, the highest performing Patriots Trophy driver, in 8th place. Not too surprising. Veronica Nowakowski gets her first top 10 since her return from injury, and Chris Washer rounds up the rest of the top 10. Vladimir Petrov, John Skabnicki, Traffic Brosis, who is in the top 5, basically 90% of this race, finishes 13th. Sean Galligan, Steve Parr third, Seth Cole, James Shelley, Kyle Nova, Alan Cavanero, and John Art round out the rest of the top 20. Solid effort by John Art to get a 20th. And he will get some extra Patriots Trophy points, only one, but one is better than none. It's time for the reverse grid round of the weekend. Jesse Turner was the first car to retire, therefore he is on pole. And he leads us to the green flag, with JF Finguy next to him and Ian Dutta in third. You have to imagine from the pole, Jesse Turner is probably the favorite in the situation. Turner had a good start before falling back and then having a problem with his car, which they took it to the garage immediately, which allowed them to retire first and get this pole position. So there's some theories that perhaps they parked it on purpose to get this pole position, but so far Turner off to a very fast start. Jean Sanford is under investigation for the incident regarding herself in the 55 of Ian Dutta. Now, the official said that while they are going to allow Sanford to finish the weekend, they said they are going to continue investigating the wreck, and that's going to take a little bit longer than they would have wanted. So for now, Sanford is in second place. So somebody just pulled down to the garage already. So Sanford is clear to race this one, but we're not quite sure what's going to happen afterwards. Sean Galligan is incredibly slow on the racetrack. This is where we saw everybody pass by him, as Sean Galligan on lap 2, his car just falls apart. Sean Angel in trouble in the 70 car. He is blown up. More reliability issues. The Sean Angel, who got a little bit of some flack for being involved in that last wreck on the last lap in the previous race, but the stewards decided not to give the 70 a penalty. So regardless, Angel's already going to be out of this one, as his engine is far, far gone. And you can see smoke inside the car, as well as coming out the back. This is a giant mess of cars, as DJ Curtis, who finished in the top 5, is slowly reworking his way through the field. As you can see, he has passed a lot of cars already in this 19 car. 3 wide, that's going to be close as Sanford gets into the left quarter panel of the 19. These two going at it, but you can see, look at Curtis, man. He is punching his way through this field. That 19 is incredibly fast. It took only 12 laps for DJ Curtis and Demax, who finished who finished second and third place in the previous race, to go from 40th and 41st all the way inside the top 20. That's how good these two are. Curtis especially, this 19's on a roll. Elijah Bree, who is the highest Patriots Trophy car, currently in 7th place, about to fall to 8th to Deanna Shelton. This 90 car, Jabri has been dominating the Division II Series this season in terms of consistency, but the Patriots Trophy efforts for Jabri have not gone as well. We saw Jabri substitute for Veronica Nowakovsky when she was out injured, and actually put up some pretty solid results for himself, and you got to wonder about Jabri's future. While he is struggling this Patriots Trophy car, his Division II efforts have not gone unnoticed by his team, and 2017 will be a very interesting season, as Jabri now trying to make some kind of a comeback on the 5. This is pretty impressive. Jabri trying to fight as hard as he can with some of the faster cars on the field. Ooh, Vincent Allen peeking underneath the 55, gets into his back left rear quarter panel and got him a little bit loose. Vincent Allen short tracking his way through the field as he pushes the 55 out of the way. Now, luckily for Dutta, they did fix that cylinder issue, so Dutta's car's back under pace. Although I'm sure he didn't really appreciate being manhandled by Gene Sanford, but Dutta at this point in the season is going to need some pretty good runs here. as he bottles the corner. And now Deanna Shelton going to capitalize. She goes on through. Gene Sanford still running in second place, keeping up with the 82 of Jesse Turner. And so far, some good runs from the S3 cars. Sanford, Lamas, and Shelton all inside the top 10. S3 Motorsports had kind of a rough mid-season, to say the least. They had a good start this season, but as time went on, they got kind of slower and slower. Didn't really pick up a lot of points. Lamas has been their main force. But Lamas has been struggling to stay inside the top 10 in points regardless, but so far, Watkins Glen really showed that S3 was kind of back on the upwards direction, and that's been the case today. They've definitely picked up some of the pace they had from the first couple rounds of the season. Michael Cavanero's struggles this weekend so far are continuing. Cavanero did not score a point in that first race, didn't even finish inside the top 25. And so far, this A3 has just had no pace whatsoever here in Richmond, as Cavanero outside the top 25 again. That first race definitely put a bit of a hinder on the A3's points, but if Cavanero continues to run like he is, and if Curtis continues to punch his way through this field, Cavanero's points lead could potentially be cut in half. So right now, Cavanero definitely needs to get his act together. As consistency has been to say three team strength, but they have not been consistent this weekend. Jesse Turner has caught lap traffic, and Gene Sanford's gone to Turner's bumper. This was how DJ Curtis lost the lead to Duncan in the first race, and we're about to see a mirror image of this. And Gene Sanford passes by Turner in an exact copy of what happened in the first race, except it was Turner and Sanford. And now Gene Sanford takes the lead in the 24. Speaking of DJ Curtis, he has reached the top 10. He passed Kasten Rosengart for 10th place, and now charging... Well, actually, passed Kasten Rosengart for 9th. I think he got by... I think that was blocked for 10th. But right now, Curtis now looking for 8th place. At the rate Curtis is going, he is going to catch Sanford, or whoever is going to be the leader after these pit stops. It was Skabnicki that was 10th, okay. Curtis is coming. That 19 is the fastest of the field. Green flag pit stops are beginning. Turner's already down pit road, so Gene Sanford decided to stay on extra lap. She is going to come down and pit. Let's see where Gene Sanford will merge out. And Vincent Allen up to second place. Vincent Allen's up to second. That was quick. Allen got by Lamas, and Turner's just nowhere to be found. But Gene Sanford does climb back into the lead, but now it's Vincent Allen who sits in second place and hounding the 24 of Gene Sanford. I don't even see Turner. Turner's at least 4th. But here comes Allen, fresh off the pit stop, in the 0 car of Allen as they go past the slow car of the 9. Vibrosis has got a problem. Kyle Nova's got back end damage too. Something must have happened on pit road between those two. But here comes Allen. Allen now punching his way through. He will pass the 24 of Gene Sanford. New leader. Allen into the lead, but here comes Lamas in second place now as he disposes of his teammate. We've got a race here. Jesse Turner falls to 4th place. But now the battle for the lead is on. We're looking to see how Kyle Nova got that back end damage as he merged right in front of the 9 of Fibrosis, and they both go into the wall. That's why the 9 was so slow. And people were kind of concerned about the merging off pit lane. That was one of them, and surprisingly no yellow was thrown. Lamas to the core panel, the 0 car, Lemmy looking for a dive, And the 48 punching his way through. He will give the 0 a tiny little nudge, and that was enough to get him loose and out of the way. And now Cody Lamas into the lead. That was a very short track-esque pass here at Richmond. But now Lamas in front of the lap traffic. That's Trost, and Delise in front of him as Trost almost just dumped Delise, and that was a close call. Lamas was almost a part of that wreck. But Lamas in the lead. Vincent Allen still in second place. The 19 of DJ Curtis has fallen to 22nd. Apparently the CBM guys must have flopped his pit stop, because Curtis was up to 8th place before pit stops and has now fallen several positions back. And that's a tough race for Curtis. He's going to really need some cautions if he wants a chance at this win, but that might have just blown it out. Vincent Allen coming back as Cody Lamas bottled the corner. He got loose off the exit, and that allowed Allen to enter the door that Lamas left open. And now Vincent Allen retakes the lead from Cody. This race, this battle for the win got really competitive out of nowhere. Alan Cavanero, he's off pit road. Something must have happened to that 7 car. But now Allen being forced to the high line as Cavanero goes up to him. Battle for 6th place. Eugene DeMax trying to hold off Ian Dutta. Now you also got to give some props to Eugene DeMax. We haven't talked about him as much in terms of charging, but DeMax did finish in the top 3. DeMax did finish, I believe, in 2nd, so he is basically taking over DJ Curtis's charge through the field. And DeMax looking to go from, I believe, 41st up to 5th place, but very impressive run by DeMax. He keeps on pushing. If a caution comes out, DeMax might have a chance, but those lap cars might get in the way. Oh, trouble! William Duncan in the wall and around. And the caution comes out for that one, and Duncan made contact with the 18 of Collard, and Matthew Fuller around. He is self-spun into Seth Cole, and here come the leaders. They are trying to avoid the wreck. Yikes. Here's a replay with William Duncan. Ooh, looks like Duncan squeezed the 18 and Collard came up into the 97 and shoved him out of the way, and Duncan looks like he just lost control of the car. And everybody trying to avoid. Matthew Fuller self-spins. Less than 20 laps to go. Vincent Allen is your leader, but you can see a long line of lapped cars on the bottom. 20 lap dash to decide the winner. And this is going to get crazy. Vincent Allen with a rocketing start in the 0 car. That was very impressive. And Allen gets right to the bottom line. That's exactly what he had to do. He had to get to the bottom as quick as possible. And he pulled it off. And now his adversaries are going to be stuck on the outside line. Gene Sanford in 2nd place. Lap cars below, but they are in the faster lane. You can see the rest of the field scrambling, trying to find some kind of room on the bottom to go through. Ian Dutta was one of the few cars in the top 10 to get to the bottom on that first lap. And then you can see others now following suit as Gene Sanford on the bottom, looking to try and make some passes and see if she's got anything left for Vincent Allen, with only a couple of laps to go. Deanna Shelton running in 4th place. She is trying as hard as she can to get through these lap cars as she and Sean Gallagher making some pretty slight contact there. A couple of hits, but all good. And you can see Michael Block scrambling and also fighting his way forward. He's in 5th place. Deanna Shelton now going to go for another pass on a couple of lap cars. Shelton making some contact with Fitzwater as well. Not afraid to use the right side of her car to get through. As everybody, you know, they're just clawing their way through. Everybody's just trying to claw and just push their way through as many cars as possible. It's a big struggle. It's a big big fight. Essentially, a giant mosh pit of cars trying to get to the front. Curtis, who is also trying to make his way through the field, is in some trouble. He's in a couple through-out situations. Coming up on 5 laps to go. Vincent Allen on the left. He is your leader. Joshua Michaels is a lap down. And then you have Jean Sanford in second place. She is trying her hardest to get to Allen. She's worked her way through several lapped cars. But you can see the gap, I think, is just a little bit too big. Jean Sanford with the prom. She has blown a tire on the 24. And oh, William Duncan around the 97. And oh no, James Shelley around the 43. We got Calamity. We got Rex in the infield. And everybody's lost their marbles. Jordan Smith with a big wreck. Matthew Fuller's got a destroyed front end. And massive chaos as they came to the white flag. A ginormous wreck featuring multiple cars as everybody trying to avoid all the wrecks, and oh, Matthew Fuller with nowhere to go. And you can see the giant calamity, several cars racing their way through, driving their way through the grass as best they could. Oh, James Shelley getting pieces from Tamir Delis, and that was just pure chaos. Vincent Allen, he's blown a tire in the 0 car. He comes off turn 4, but still he takes the checkered flag. And whoa, he barely missed a couple of cars that were stuck on the start-finish line. And Vincent Allen is your winner as Joshua Michaels comes slamming into Trost. Vincent Allen with a blown right front, but his car continues to move. And a chaotic ending, but Vincent Allen is your winner. And a very crazy ending with a lot of collateral damage. I'm not even sure what the finishing order is. This could take some time to figure this mess out, but one thing's for sure, Vincent Allen is your winner here at the Richmond National Raceway. Vincent Allen is your winner as he wins the second of 2 races here at Richmond National Raceway. And a very excellent race for him. Cut a tire on the final lap, but that didn't really matter. But still, another win for Vincent Allen. What a breakout season for the 0 team. Ian Dutta, Michael Block round out the rest of the podium. Cody Lamas, Deanna Shelton, 4th and 5th, solid for them. Joshua Collar manages to get 4th and 6th this weekend. Very nice job. Novakovsky, 9th and 7th. Travels 6th and 8th. So a lot of cars who finished well in the first race managed to come back and get some top 10 finishes in both races. Charles Sanford once again the highest finishing Patriots Trophy car. Jesse Turner 12th after starting on pole. Cooper Siren 13th, 14th for Rosengard, so Sanctum 13th and 14th. Michael Cavallero does score some points, so good job to him. His points lead is going to not be affected too much, and he did finish ahead of DJ Curtis. JF Finguy gets 16. Petrov, Young, and DeMax ran out the rest of the top 20. Gene Sanford, who had been running second, finishes outside the top 20. As we look at the points, Michael Cavallero, his points lead has slightly been lowered, but still very solid, over 1 round ahead of DJ Curtis. Vladimir Petrov and Vincent Allen, the FRT cars, tied for 3rd place in the points. Sean Galligan falls to 5th in the points. Josh Travel still 6th, hanging in there. Jesse Turner, Trevor Broses, William Duncan, and Lamas round out the rest of the top 10 in points. Any one of those top 10 still have a mathematical chance. However, on this list, they see 11th through 20th probably no longer in the hunt. Ian Dutta, Zachary Fitzwater up to 12th in points. Nice job for him. Chris Washer, Eugene Max, Michael Block, Jordan Smith, Deanna Shelton, Gene Sanford, Joshua Collard, Alan Cavanaugh rounded the rest of the top 20. So nice job to Collard to get into the top 20. And Alan Cavanaugh in 20th as well. Well, this post-race will be very interesting, and we will have some details on the Gene Sanford situation in just a little bit.